If you Google a lot of the brands that you used to know and love, like the small Black-owned brands, most of them don't exist anymore. And that's what happens when you race to the bottom. It is a lose-lose situation for you.
We getting money, money, money. When Jimmere sharing gems with her getting money, money, money. Getting a line, growing money and getting money, money, money. It's your life, trying to give more life. Getting money, money.
If you have been here before, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. If you do not know who I am, my name is Gwen Jimmere. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have built multiple seven-figure businesses from scratch. In fact, the most popular one is my hair care brand, Naturalicious, which you can find in over 2,500 retailers around the world, including Sally Beauty, Whole Foods, and Ulta. And I started that business with just $32 in the bank as a single mother. So if I can do it, you can do it too. But you can do it a lot faster if you listen to my 13 years of expertise and advice on doing what I do best. Let's get into why your business is going to fail. I don't want this to be you. So I'm going to tell you what's going to kill your business, because not only have I started businesses from scratch and grown them to seven figures, I actually also had one fail. And so I've been on both sides of the track. So I'm going to tell you exactly what not to do so that you don't have that problem. Number 3 is going to be the main killer of your business. So you're going to want to make sure that you stick around for that. Number 1 is free shipping. And you may be like, what? Free shipping? How is free shipping going to kill my business? Let me tell you something. Somebody's got to pay the shipping. And if it's not your customer, guess who it's going to be? It's going to be you. And let me tell you why this is a problem if you're offering shipping for free. But first, let's kind of backtrack into the history of how this even started, where people start to expect free shipping. Honestly, this expectation of free shipping from all businesses really started when Amazon decided to start offering free 2-day shipping when people became members of Amazon Prime. And then as a result, customers started to expect other brands to start offering free, fast shipping as well. The problem with this is that Amazon has the logistics and the infrastructure and the manpower to be able to fulfill and ship orders in an exponentially fast rate, way faster than you or I could ever possibly imagine. And so when Amazon started offering free 2-day shipping and customers started to sort of expect it, what did other brands start to do? Other small businesses started to say, okay, well, we're going to offer free shipping as well. Small businesses started to feel like they had to compete with this behemoth that is Amazon in order to stay alive. And that simply was not the case. Most businesses just started simply offering free shipping, period. But what they didn't think about is that Amazon actually makes its money from the Prime membership. So in exchange for someone signing up for Amazon Prime, they then received free 2-day shipping. Amazon was not offering free shipping just off of the strength of you buying something on Amazon. You had to be a Prime member in order to get that deal. And so what many small businesses did not do is that they did not create a reciprocal relationship between themselves and the consumer. So whereas Amazon did create the reciprocal relationship, okay, we're going to give you free shipping in exchange for you signing up for this membership. But most small businesses didn't do that. Instead, they just said, oh, let me just offer free shipping because that's what people expect now. And that has caused a huge problem with small businesses and their profit margins. And I don't want that to be you. The bottom line is that shipping is never free. And the price goes up year after year after year. Somebody's got to pay it. UPS, FedEx, DHL, USPS, none of them are offering free shipping. So you've got to pay it if the customer doesn't pay it. And you know, I really don't like that businesses started offering free shipping just because Amazon started doing it. Just because someone is doing it doesn't mean that you should do it. Also, it doesn't mean that you can do it. You may not even have the padding in your profit margin to be able to offer free shipping, but people just do stuff without running numbers, and then they're like, why is my business failing? They haven't even calculated the cost if they can afford to do that. In fact, I have a whole video about not doing things without first calculating the cost of it from a biblical perspective. It literally says it in the Bible. If you want to check that video out, it's right here. I'll also link it in the show notes for you. So let's run some numbers real quick, because numbers make all of this make sense. Let's say you have a product that costs you $20 to make or manufacture. And let's say you sell that product for $50. You make a $30 profit on that. And let's say it costs you $10 to ship that product to the customer. If the customer pays for the $10 shipping, you're not eating that cost. So you have a $30 profit, which means you have over 50% margin, which is pretty good depending on your industry. Now let's take that same scenario and let's say you eat the cost of the shipping. So let's say that you take that same product that you spent $20 to produce, you sell that same product for $50, but you pay for the shipping because you offered the customer free shipping. So now you pay an additional $10 to ship that product out. Because remember, USPS, FedEx, DHL, UPS, none of them are offering free shipping, okay? So if the customer doesn't pay it, you got to pay it. So you've paid $10 to ship this product. So you went from making a $30 profit margin, which was 60%, down to a $20 profit, and now you've made 40%. So now you're below 50% margin. That's not good. All because you ate a $10 cost. Now imagine if you multiply that over multiple orders, over tens of orders, hundreds of of orders, thousands of orders. That's a 20% difference in your profit margin. That is gigantic just because you ate the cost of the shipping. So you may say, well, Gwen, people aren't going to buy if I don't offer free shipping. Oh, but that's not true. You can do like what Amazon did and offer an incentive in exchange for free shipping to create that reciprocal relationship that I was talking about earlier that they've created. You could offer free shipping over a certain amount, which is what a lot of businesses do, but they do it wrong. Most businesses, and this might be you as well, they take the average order value of the customer. So they do the math and they figure out, okay, the average amount that someone's ordering from me is, let's say, $60. And then they offer free shipping over $60. Here's the thing. People are going to order on average from you $60 anyway. You're not really getting any benefit from offering them free shipping because they're going to pay $60 on average anyway. In order to make it advantageous for you and for the customer and create a win-win scenario for both of you, you need to times that average order value amount by 1.5. This allows you to encourage them to stack the cart with a higher dollar amount so that they can receive free shipping. Now, you don't want to make the free shipping threshold so ridiculously high that it's unattainable. Like if your average order value is $60 across all customers, you don't want to make your free shipping threshold $300. Like most people are not going to spend that. It's actually going to have a counterproductive effect and cause people to shy away from buying from you at all because it's going to seem like you're trying to price gouge them. But if you multiply your average order value by 1.5 times, it's far more reasonable. So let's say your average order value is $60. 1.5 times $60 is $90. So they would get free shipping on orders of $90 or above. This way, they spend more money with you, and now you've got the additional padding in your profit margin that will allow you to be able to give them that free shipping. Number 2 is having constant sales and discounts. Stop this. Stop this right now. Your suppliers are generally not offering many discounts. And if they are offering discounts, they're periodic. They're not happening on an ongoing basis. And so if you're constantly offering discounts and sales to customers, your profit margin is suffering. And I'm not saying don't ever offer discounts. I'm not saying don't ever have sales. What I'm saying is that constantly running a sale, constantly having heavy discounts trains your customer base to wait for the sale. That means that they aren't going to buy when things are at full price. So you can never make a healthy profit margin because you're always going to have something on sale in order to make any money. Again, your suppliers and your vendors are probably not offering many discounts on an ongoing regular basis that you can rely on. So your profit margins are what they are. Again, somebody has to eat the cost of this, and you are in business to stay in business. Just like most people don't generally get married with the intention of getting divorced, you did not start a business for it to flop. Take this from someone who made this mistake. It is extremely hard to retrain your customers to not wait for the sale. Think about any store that you go to that always has a discount. Like you can just go to their app or you can go to their website and you know there's going to be a discount code. Are you shopping at that store without that discount code? Absolutely not. You will drive there, and if you forgot the code, you will drive back home and get the little coupon that you had printed out that's on your refrigerator, or if it's on an app, you will make sure that you pull it up before you ever buy anything. And if for some reason that store's Wi-Fi or their cell signal is not working the way it should and you can't get that app up, you are not going to buy it. I know you do it because I do it too. But that's because these stores have trained us that, hey, we're always going to have a discount. We're always going to have something on sale. And some of those stores have actually closed. Let's look at Bed Bath & Beyond. At no point did most people go into Bed Bath & Beyond without their coupon. They were always having a sale. They were never going to be able to sell anything at full price because they trained customers over the years that, hey, you can always get a discount with us. And their discount was healthy. It was like 30%. That's a huge difference in profit margin to be offering hundreds of thousands of customers 30% off every day. And of course, for the consumer, it's great because you're like, yeah, I can get 30% off on anything in this store any day of the week. But from a profit margin standpoint, for the people who have to run the business, for the people who have to pay their employees, for the people who have to pay their rent or their mortgage on the building that they're in, that 30% is gigantic. That's millions of dollars lost from a behemoth chain like Bed Bath & Beyond was. And now, where's Bed Bath & Beyond? All their brick and mortar stores are closed. It's very important for you to remember. People always say that success leaves clues, and that is true, but failure leaves clues as well. So if you're noticing that there are businesses that are failing because they've done certain things, you probably shouldn't do them either. Now, again, I'm not saying to never offer a sale or a discount, but what I want to encourage you to do is to do something different. I would like to encourage you to do value-added offers instead. And I'm going to explain what those are in just a minute, but value-added offers can actually increase the customer loyalty and deepen your relationship with your customer, which is ultimately what you want. So a value-added offer is something like buy this, get that. And I don't mean buy this, get this for free. What I mean is like buy this t-shirt, get this baseball cap for free, or free gift with purchase. So perfume counters customers are notorious for this. I know you've seen the ads where they'll say free bag, and the bag will be like really pretty and like decorated, or it'll be gold and shiny or something. It'll look like it's, you know, worth something, right? So it'll say free bag with purchase of Dior's such and such perfume. Perfume counters have been doing this for decades, and the reason they continue to do it is because it works. Because people love free stuff. And here's the thing, when you offer free shipping or a discount, that's a very transactional kind of situation. It's intangible. They don't see the shipping, they don't see the discount, right? It's nothing they can hold in their hand, so they forget about it until it's time for them to purchase again. However, if you're offering a free gift with purchase, that's something that they can hold, something that they can see, something that they can carry around with them. It's a conversation piece. It's something that reminds them on a daily basis that they made a purchase with you and that they're very happy with it. Let's say you design stationery and you offered them a free fountain pen in exchange for purchasing a journal that you created. Every time they go to write in their journal that they purchased from you with the pen that you gave them for free, they're going to remember your business. That's not going to happen if you're just offering free shipping and discounts all the time. Another business that's really good with doing this is Sassy Jones. Sassy Jones makes jewelry and couture clothing. And often what the owner of Sassy Jones will do is she'll offer a free necklace that's priced normally at, let's say, $90 in exchange for a purchase of $350 or more on her website. So the customer feels like, oh my goodness, I'm getting a $90 necklace by purchasing $350. I don't know what Sassy Jones's average order value is, but I can assure you that whatever the free gift with purchase threshold is, it's above and beyond what her average order value is. So just like with free shipping, we're going to take the average order value and we're going to multiply it times 1.5. And that's going to be both our free shipping threshold and our free gift with purchase threshold. Now, I wouldn't do both. I would do one or the other. Because again, at the end of the day, your numbers have to make sense. Just like with the Sassy Jones example, if she offers a $90 necklace for free, guaranteed she didn't pay $90 to produce that necklace. She's selling it for $90. So her profit margins remain healthy. So let's say, for example, it costs her $30 to produce that necklace. If she's offering the $90 necklace for free, the customer feels like they've gotten something amazing, and they have. They just got this beautiful necklace that they're going to wear, and people are going to talk to them about it, and they're going to ask them questions about it, and they're going to compliment it. And every single time they wear this necklace and someone says on the street, oh my goodness, your necklace is so beautiful, where'd you get it from? They're going to say, I got it from Sassy Jones. So now Sassy Jones has word of mouth marketing for an item that she offered for free, which is way less expensive than had she run ads to customers to acquire them to buy that same necklace. So again, we are creating win-win scenarios between us and the consumer. We're not trying to beat up the consumer price-wise, but we also don't want to get ourselves beat up in the process. And number 3 is racing to the bottom. What do I mean when I say racing to the bottom? Racing to the bottom is when you are lowering your prices because either people are telling you that your price is too high, or you're keeping your eye on the competition, not running your own numbers, and you start to lower your prices in an attempt to compete with them. Listen to me. Something is always too expensive for the wrong person, and something is always priced just right for the right person. I can tell you from experience that folks would sometimes complain that our $25 shampoo was too expensive. However, those same people seem somehow to have $500 available every time Beyonce comes to town and they want to get floor seats. The point is that people find money for what they want to find money for. If they really, really want your thing, it's not going to be too high. It's not going to be too expensive. So when people are telling you that your price is too much, ignore them. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to the black hair industry. And this might be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Some years ago, the black hair care industry was run by black people, primarily black women who created hair care products with super high quality ingredients because at the time, there were no products on the shelf. Now, those products may have been targeted to us, but they were not truly made for us. So black women started to get very conscious of the fact that sulfates in shampoos and parabens in curl creams and things of this nature were detrimental to not only our hair, but also to our bodies. We started to learn that women were even developing cancer due to the fact that they were using products that were targeted to them, but made with adverse ingredients that were banned in several other countries, but they were selling them to us, causing us to get cancer. So many black women, including myself, decided to say, we're going to take charge of this. We're going to create products that are truly made for us, by us. So that's what we did. So at the time, this is probably between 2010 and 2013, where most black hair care products that were truly made for natural hair were targeted to black women, but they were also made by black women. Now, these products were not yet super popular. You could not find them in stores. You could not go to your regular store and get them. You had to know somebody who knew somebody, or maybe go to a flea market, or somebody made them in their house and they were mixing something up in the kitchen. And that's how it started. The only popular hair care brand that was doing this at the time, and it wasn't even that popular at that time, was Carol's Daughter. And even then, Lisa Price, who is the founder of Carol's Daughter, was not selling her products in stores. She was selling them out of her brownstone in New York City. So if you didn't know Lisa Price's address, you heard about it through the grapevine, but you didn't know how to get it. And fast forward a little bit to 2010 to 2013, and that's when you find Black women starting to get more cognizant of what's going on with hair care ingredients. They start making their own hair care products. And then fast forward a little bit more, YouTube became super popular for that topic because those same Black women started making videos about what they were doing with their hair, how it was helping their hair to grow. And we were seeing them in real time doing their hair with these products that they were creating. So what does the mass market do? The mass market says, hey, you should start selling your product in my store. So next thing you know, you've got Black homegrown hair care products that are being mixed and made in somebody's kitchen, now being made available in Target. And Target was the very first mass retailer to start intentionally selling natural hair care products. Next thing you know, you've got products not only in Target, but you also have got them being sold at Walmart. Then Whole Foods started selling them. Then Ulta started selling them. And then Sephora started selling them. And next thing you know, they're everywhere. Then the discount stores started selling them. Rite Aid, Walgreens, all those sorts of stores start. We got Family Dollar starting to sell natural hair care products. And for the consumer, this was great because it started to make these products readily available everywhere. But what happened? And this is where the race into the bottom comes in. As with anything, when something gets very, very popular, a huge behemoth company comes along and they find a way to make it in mass and reduce the cost. Now, this is great for them, but it's not great for the small business owner, especially when they're not running their numbers and they're not thinking about how this is going to affect them in the long run. So here's what happened. L'Oreal, Motions, Mazzani, all these companies that were not traditionally Black hair care brands started to make products for Black hair in an attempt to compete with the small business owners who were making their products in their home, because now they're seeing dollars. In fact, the Black natural hair care industry got so big at one point that relaxer sales were down significantly. And these huge brands like L'Oreal, Mazzani, Motions, all of them who were traditionally relaxer brands were like, oh no, hold up. We're not about to lose no money. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create products to compete with these other smaller brands. So what did they do? They started offering products targeted to Black women at a significantly lower cost. And you may say, well, that's a good thing. Yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, the cost was lower. However, those brands were benefiting from something called economies of scale. Economies of scale is basically a fancy term that means that because they're able to make so much at one time, they can afford to do that, they can lower the cost. If you have someone manufacture 10 bottles of shampoo, it's going to cost you maybe $10 a bottle. However, if you're able to produce hundreds of thousands of bottles of shampoo, it may cost you less than $1 per bottle. So they're able to benefit because they have so much sales history, they have so much money in the bank, they can afford to produce hundreds of thousands of bottles of this at a super duper fraction of the cost that the average small business owner at home can produce it for. So because they can produce it for less than $1, they can sell it for, let's say, $10, as opposed to the average small business owner at home who is making it for $10. They have to sell it for $20 or $30 in order to make a profit. So now you've got consumers saying, well, I could buy this for $20 or $30 from you, or I could buy it for $10 from them. I'm going to buy it from them. And that's all well and good. I'm not really shading either one of them. But I do wish the small business owner had made a different decision after that. Because what happened after that is that all those brands that were small business owners making the products in their house, and they were using premium ingredients in order to be able to really produce phenomenal results with these women's hair that they were targeting, they started to cut their ingredients. They started to change the ingredients. Much less expensive and therefore less effective ingredients were being put into their products so they could lower their prices, so therefore they could compete with the L'Oreals and the Motions of the world. Most consumers didn't even consider the fact that Motions and all these other brands, they wasn't made for us. They didn't care nothing about us. These are the same brands that were selling us relaxers, knowing that they were burning our scalps, knowing that they were causing cancer, knowing that these ingredients in these products were banned in multiple other countries, but yet not here in America, and themselves lobbying Congress to continue to allow these ingredients to be allowed in this country. Meanwhile, other countries are like, no, this is dangerous, this is harmful, this is killing our people. These brands were in bed with politicians to ensure that these ingredients were still available here so they could continue to sell them. And so the average consumer isn't thinking like that. The average consumer is like, oh, well, this is cheaper, so I'm going to buy it. And then what ended up happening? You ended up having all these Black women who were consumers because nothing's working for their hair. But if they just thought about some years prior when they were buying at the higher price point from the small business owner who was making the products in her house, or maybe she was able to now afford a small warehouse and she had a little bit of a team and she was making the stuff and she was eventually going to grow her business bigger, those products were working for their hair. And the reason that they were working is because those products were made from premium ingredients. Naturally textured hair requires a certain quality of ingredients in order for it to be effective on the hair. You can't just use some riff-raff products and expect it to work. So now, some years later, you got everybody buying these super cheap products and they're wondering why nothing works for their hair. But back to the racing to the bottom. So a lot of these small Black-owned natural hair care brands started lowering their prices to compete. But again, you can't have high quality and cheap prices. You can't have top tier quality and bottom tier prices. It doesn't work like that. You got to have one or the other. You want top tier quality, you got to pay top tier prices. If you want bottom tier prices, you're going to have bottom tier quality. It is what it is. And logically, we know this. So anyway, all these small Black women owned brands, they start racing to get to the bottom price where these other larger brands were with substandard ingredients. And now the super high quality products that they once had start to dwindle. They start to dwindle until they're in the tank. And now not only did their prices get lowered in an attempt to compete, again, they raced to the bottom. They raced to the bottom to compete with someone else that they shouldn't have been worried about. They should have kept their quality high and therefore their prices would match their quality. Now over at Naturalicious, we never changed our prices. We kept our prices the same because I was committed to ensuring that our quality stayed what it was. I cannot sell a $5 shampoo and offer super high quality products that are going to help people transform how they feel about their hair when they look in the mirror and it works the very first time. I can't do that. This is not possible. I don't have the economies of scale that a L'Oreal has or that a Unilever has. I just don't have that. So I can't do that. If my consumers, who are the absolute best, shout out to you if you are watching and you're a Naturalicious customer. My customers at Naturalicious have come to expect incredibly high quality. They've come to expect that if Gwen has her name on it, if Gwen puts her face to it, if Gwen has her Naturalicious brand on it, it's going to be top-notch high quality. Then they're also expecting to pay a certain price because they know what comes with that. However, when these other brands that were competitors of ours started to lower their prices, they ended up failing. If you look around, most of them are now out of business. And this is not to like joke about them or make fun of them. My heart actually goes out for them because this could have been avoided if they weren't looking at the Joneses and thinking that the grass is greener just because you see some behemoth of a brand who has tons of marketing dollars talk about how great their products are and they're able to afford all these fancy influencers and all that sort of stuff. All that is marketing. So if they weren't looking at that grass thinking that that grass was greener, they would have kept their prices high and the average consumer would now have a choice. The average consumer would now be able to say, okay, you know what? I'm okay with choosing the lower price because I know I'm going to get lower quality. All I need to do right now is wash my hair. All I need to do right now is style my hair. You know, it doesn't need to look amazing or anything, but I need something really quick. Or the consumer could have said, you know what? I'm in it to win. I want top tier always. And then the consumers could have chosen what they wanted, but the vast majority of small Black women owned brands started to race to the bottom and they started to reduce their prices to compete. And now not only could they not compete on that level because they just don't have the margin to make that work, most of them have actually closed up shop and they've quietly closed, right? But if you Google a lot of the brands that you used to know and love, like the small Black owned brands, most of them don't exist anymore. And that's what happens when you race to the bottom. It is a lose-lose situation for you. The grass is not always greener. Keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the prize. Stay in your lane. The price is the price is the price. The price has to be the price so that you can stay in business. Your customers want you to stay in business. If they're buying from you and they love you and they're repeatedly buying from you, they don't want you to fail. They want you to stick around. So not only is racing to the bottom a bad business decision for you, it's a bad decision for your customers who are loyal to you. What are they going to do when your thing that you offer, when your product that you offer is no longer available? Now they got to find some other brand to buy from and get used to that and determine if they like it when they already had you. So don't put your customers in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation. Again, we are in business to stay in business. We're not in business to flop. In fact, you should be slightly increasing your prices every year to counteract inflation because inflation is a real thing. And your vendors, your suppliers, the people who you buy your raw materials from, the people who you buy your supplies from in order to produce whatever you produce, those suppliers, I can guarantee you, are slightly raising their prices every year, sometimes even every quarter. And if you're not doing the same, now, again, your profit margin is suffering. You need to be clear on what your profit margin is so it can stay the same or increase. The goal is always to increase it, but at minimum, it needs to be staying the same. And if you don't increase your prices slightly, I'm not saying you got to go from offering something something for $20 to suddenly offering it for $90. Like, that's crazy. But slightly increasing it. Maybe it goes from $20 to $20.50. Maybe it goes from $20.50 to $20.72. Like, who knows, right? Just a little bit here and there to counteract inflation every single year at minimum. The bottom line is that you have a business to run, and the lifeblood of your business is money. We are in business to make money. And it's not just money for you. You can't hire a team to help you and get some of the labor off of your back if you don't have enough profit margin. You can barely pay your rent at your building if you don't have enough profit margin. It's extremely hard to grow your business if you don't have enough profit margin. You can't contribute and give back to the community if you don't have enough profit margin. It's not just about making money for you. Of course, we all want to live a fabulous life, right? But in addition to you, there's other people that are affected by you making these bad decisions. So don't do that. In fact, you can download my free 56-page small business survival guide right now. The link is in the show notes. I'll make sure I send it to you immediately. It doesn't cost you anything. It's 100% free. Download that and make sure that you are not one of the over 90% of businesses that fail every single year. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.